All right, let's get here. So just rest your hands on your knees. Why don't we take a few shoulder rolls? A few in one direction, a few in the other direction. Saying good morning to your body on this beautiful sunshiny day. And then we're going to come up into that squeeze. So we're going to squeeze the shoulders up to the ears and then slowly melt them down. Relaxing through the jaw. And we'll just do that 2 more times with our breath. So inhaling as you take that slow squeeze up and exhaling. Pardon me, as the shoulders melt down the back. Just freeing up a little space in the neck. One more time. Let's hold the squeeze just a moment longer at the top. Let's take that exaggerated exhale to slowly melt, release. All the way down, and then just have a little wiggle there. All right. And then again, just resting your hands on your knees, closing your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few moments just to gather yourself here. Gathering all of your thoughts, energy, and attention. And feel your body landing on the ground or the cushion beneath you, and just take a moment to really notice and feel where your body meets that support. So we really take a few intentional moments here to ground our attention, to ground our energy, to just fully land here into the moment. And let's take this 3 breath, whatever you want to call it, meditation, to help with that landing. So we're going to bring the breath up. So imagine just breathing into the top of the head. And with a long and soft exhale, we'll relax down from the top of the head to the shoulders, softening the eyes, the forehead, the jaw, the neck, just that your shoulders get a little heavier. And then again, as that new breath comes in, think of breathing into this clear, open space. And on your next exhale, soften, let your breath, your weight drain down from your shoulders to your belly, softening the chest, the back, the belly. Again, allowing your breath to come to you, filling again this clear, open space. And on your next exhale, softening down through your hips, legs, feet, down into the ground, the cushions beneath you. And we're going to do that again on one full breath. Breathing in towards the top of the head. And feel the length of your breath softening all the way down through your body, all the way down to the ground beneath you. Good morning. And just pausing to notice how you are today. Yes. And then slowly fluttering your eyes open, just taking in the light, the texture, the room around you again. And I wanted to move through our breath tapping and breath stretches to start with today, just to start to free up a little bit more space to move out any congestion or stuckness. So we're going to start with fingertips tapping back and forth underneath the collarbones. So waking up the top of our lungs. And just taking some easy breaths as you're doing that. So a wonderful way to break up any congestion that might be going on from life, from allergies, from cold season. Also a wonderful way to keep the lungs clear, especially important these days. And then let's go tap up and down the breastbone. And it's also a nice way to just gently energize ourselves. So if we're feeling a little sluggish today, for some reason, I'm feeling a little bit more sluggish moving into today. Who knows why? I ate some cookies last night. That's probably why. I got more sugar in my blood this morning. All right, and then we're going to tap the bottom of the ribs, so the bottom of the lungs. That's also probably why my voice is all blicky. I've been noticing that with some foods that I eat. All right, and then we're going to come to the upper back, so the upper back lobes of the lungs, top of the lungs. And just taking some easy breaths again. And then the fun one where we just sort of toss the hands in this type of motion onto the back of the rib cage, so the lower back of the lungs. And then we're going to come around and find the side of the body. So just tapping on one side of the ribs. And then tapping on the other side of the rib cage. Right. All right. Now coming back to center and just pause for a moment. Take a few easy breaths again and notice if you feel anything different. So oftentimes for me, it'll just feel like my breath feels easier, lighter, less effortful, like it's really flowing through that clear, open space. So just notice for yourself. And we're going to keep building on that now. So we'll clasp hold of one wrist, either one, it doesn't matter. Let me turn a little sideways here so you can see these better. Right. And with your inhaling breath, we're just going to reach the arms forward as we round that upper back. And the feeling is that we could, sort of like a bird that's puffing out its chest, except we're going to puff the back of our chest behind us. So as you inhale, and you feel more space coming into the back of the lungs, ribs, especially between the shoulder blades. And then on your next exhale, just relax the arms down and come back to neutral. So we'll do that a couple of times. Inhaling, expanding to the back. As we pull the arms forward, feel that there's more space to reach the ribs back. And then exhale, neutral. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Expanding back. And exhale, releasing to center. And just take a moment to pause between each side that we're moving through to notice if you just have some heightened awareness now of the back of your body. Sometimes to me it feels like, I can actually feel that my back is there now. Like I have this support that I didn't necessarily notice before. Okay, now next we can either bring the fingertips back. If you're sitting onto a bolster, you could kind of reach them behind your bolster or to the floor, or interlace your fingers behind you, keeping a little bend in your elbows if you do that. Now we're going to puff our chest forward. So let your inhale create that expansion to the front of the body. Gently squeeze the shoulders back. Let's just keep eyes on the horizon. So not tipping the head back, but just let the chest open. And then as you exhale, release that effort. Soften. And then again, inhaling, expanding the breath to the front of the lungs. The chest reaches forward. And exhale, soften. Back to neutral. One more time in. Welcoming that spaciousness into the front of your body. And release to neutral, bringing the hands back to the legs. And again, just pause to now notice sort of the relationship between the front and the back of your body. Alrighty, so now tipping to your left, so we can bring that left hand to the floor and your right hand somewhere on that side of your body. And in the same way that we've been working, as you inhale, sort of puff or reach the ribs out to the right a little bit more into your hand. And then as you exhale, just soften and melt back to neutral. Now imagine as you do this 2 more times that your inhaling breath could gently move each rib. May or may not be happening, but just notice if perhaps there's a little bit more movement each time through. And then we'll come up and pause for a moment. So now we've created more space and opening through 3 sides of the body. Just notice how this left side is feeling. Mine's feeling a little left out. All right, so let's tip to the right. Place your left hand on your side. And again, as you inhale, feel your breath expanding out that left side ribs. And then as you exhale, just release to neutral. So it may or may not be a big movement. So subtle is good. Notice perhaps more space in the muscles between the ribs or more length from your hip to your armpit. One last time. And as you come up to center, pause and just sort of notice that 360-degree awareness through your body. Nice. And before we move on, it might feel nice to change the cross of your legs. So just notice which leg was in front. We'll stretch everything out for a moment. And then crisscross them the other way. And then wrap your hands around your ribs. So right hand to left rib, left hand to right rib. Be there for a moment. You can close your eyes if you like. And with this idea of your 360-degree breath, so your whole body breathing, can you feel your ribs moving under your hands? Can you feel the ribs expanding front, sides, and back? And then softening, drawing the navel gently in with each exhale. Let's just take 3 breaths here. Feeling that warm sunlight, the rays of your breath, spreading out in all directions. And softening back home to center as you gently hug the belly towards the back. 2 more on your own. Maybe starting to find a little bit more spaciousness in the breath itself. That pause for a moment at the top of your inhale. And that pause again at the end of your exhale. And after your next breath, Let's bring the palms together in front of the heart center. We're going to move through the Namaste movement flow, and then we're just going to play with that. So we're going to use that movement as our base, and we're going to build on that. So from here, let's find that sunlight breath, that 360-degree inhale. As you exhale, gently hug your belly to your back. We're going to round back and press the palms forward, similar to the back stretch we just did. And then as you inhale again, just let your breath come to you, hands to heart. And exhale, pressing out as you round back. One more time, inhale, the hands come to you, the breath comes to you. Exhale, pressing out and pause. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, a little or a lot. Where does that feel good in your body today? And then exhale, bring the palms together and down to the heart. So we're just going to move through that twice more as you breathe in. Shoulders soft and easy. Breathe out, press forward. Breathing in, reach for that beautiful blue sky. Let a little bit more sunlight in, and then exhale, returning home to your heart. Last one on your own, and just take your time as you feel the connection between your breath and your movement. And whenever you come back to center, pause. And breathing in again, we're going to start the same way and change it a little. So exhale, pressing the palms forward, rounding back. Inhale, reach straight up this time. And from here, twist to your right. So let that left hand just reach between the legs. So we're going to keep it more center rather than across the body. And the right fingertips come behind you, gazing over your right shoulder. And then inhale, sweeping up through center, pause. And we're going to exhale, twist left. So now the right hand reaches forward, the left back, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, sweeping up. We're going to change the head position this time as we exhale, twist right, but look over the left shoulder. Good morning, neck. Inhale, bringing everything through center, pause. Exhale, twist left, look right. This is good for our brains too. So we're going to do that just one more time as the breath brings you up. As you exhale, lovingly squeeze all of that old air out, looking left. Feel as though you could press the air down under the arms. And then as you inhale, you're being filled back up as you come through center. Exhale, twisting left, looking right. Squeezing all the old air out. So this fresh breath, renewed energy can come in to the top. And then bring your palms together down to your heart. Pausing here for a breath. Letting your weight land. And come back to the first part of our Namaste flow. So inhale. Exhale, press your palms forward, tuck and round back. Inhale, reaching for the sky. From here, we're going to twist to the right, but this time the left hand comes to that right knee. Right hand behind you. And just feel an extra bit of grounded connection here. So I'm 5 to 10% effort pressing my knee into my hand. Then we're going to sweep that right arm up beside the ear. Take a little rainbow arch towards the left. Oh, you decide how far. Then let your inhale bring you up. So fingers reach to the sky, pause. Exhale, arching left. Let your inhale bring you up. Feel that full body expansion. As you exhale, arch over, gently hug your belly to your back, and then we're going to stay And feel your breath moving every single rib on that right side, that warmth, liquid gold of your breath. And coming all the way up. And we'll just sweep the arm down. We're going to come through center. Palms reconnect. Let's breathe in, whole body here. Breathing out as we press the palms forward, round back. Inhale, reaching up for the sky. Exhale, twisting left with your right hand, finding your left knee, and just feel that little press of your knee into your hand. Then sweep that left arm up beside your ear, maybe grow an inch taller. Take a little arch to the right. Just see how this side is feeling. As your breath comes in, we reach for the sky and pause. Exhale, little side bend. Once more, inhale, floating up. Exhale, little side bend. Stay feeling that warmth and energy of your breath moving into the left side. So check and see what that right shoulder is doing. I noticed mine was squeezing up to my ear a little, so can you soften it down? And coming slowly up, we're going to release through center, hands to the knees, and just pause, let everything sink and settle, and just have a gentle wiggle here. Beautiful. All right, stretch your legs all the way back out. Ooh, let's roll through the feet a little bit, get those morning crunchies out. Lubricating the ankle joints. And around the other way. And then just draw the soles of the feet together into a wide butterfly pose. So kind of that diamond shape of the legs. Let your arches fall away from each other so the outer edges of the feet connect. And we're just going to take an easy circle all around. You need some movement down into a little bit more of your hips this time. Can you feel your weight shifting around the pelvis, around the sitting bones? And let's go the other way. And we're going to circle back to center. So feel your weight dropping down through your hips, let your heart be light. Bring your hands on the outside of the knees. And we're gently going to press the knees down into the hands. So 10% effort. Hold that press. The hands are pulling up, the knees are pressing down, nobody wins. And then let that go. Just do that a couple more times. So knees press down, hands hold up. Let's take a breath in. Maybe you can feel your breath pouring down into your hips and pelvis, and then exhale, fully let that little contraction go. Do that one more time. Knees press down, hands pull up, the shoulders don't need to do anything at all. And then release. Then press down into the cushion or the floor beside you just to create a little bit more length, right? So kind of wiggling the torso up out of the hips. And then we're going to bring that length forward with us, just a little tip forward. So you could keep your hands here for some support, or feel free to bring them forward. And our goal is not to get anywhere in particular, but just to have a little forward fold to soften the hips, soften the inner legs, relax your belly. maybe rock and sway a little side to side. Soften the chest. Relaxing through your back. And here, can you feel your breath wherever you are? If you're just here, perfect. Can you feel your breath expanding into the back, into the sides, and into the front of your body? And then just take your time as you float back up. We'll bring the hands on the outside of the knees again, this time to give them a little assist coming up, and stretch all the way out and shake them out. Okay. And then just place your feet on the floor, hips width or just a bit wider, for some cat stretches here. So we can hold around the front of the shins or underneath the legs. Really spread your toes wide and feel your feet prints really sinking into the floor, particularly the ball of the big toe. Sometimes it likes to kind of peel off the floor. So that's a really great grounding point, is just feeling the ball of the big toe pressing down, but all four corners of your feet grounded. And let's inhale, let the heart lift. And as you exhale, draw your belly to your back. Tuck the tail under. And again, pressing the hips forward, the heart up. Just rolling through your spine. Exhale, rounding. So as you continue, can we think about this movement starting in the hips and rolling up the back, and then starting in the pelvis again and rolling down the back? So your hips are sort of the initiator. As you tip the pelvis forward, it brings that curve, that suppleness up the spine. And then as you tuck your hips under, it pulls it back down the spine. So just play with that. Maybe you could imagine your breath like a wave rolling up and down, massaging the muscles along the spine. One last time. And as you come back to center, just pause. Right. And we're going to come down onto our backs. So coming off of our cushions, we can scoot those off to the sides. Coming on down. Oh, lovely floor. Feel how good it might feel on your back just to let those muscles that have been holding you up now just flop, just relax. In fact, maybe extend the legs out. And just pause here. Let the weight of your whole body relax into the floor. And then sweep your arms overhead into that full body stretch, reaching through one side, reaching through the other side. Lengthening out of your center line, your waistline. And then sweep your arms back down by your sides and place your feet onto the floor. All right. So from here, we're going to bring the right knee to the chest, holding around or underneath that knee. Give it a little squeeze to you. And remember, you can always think of pressing armpits to hips to keep the shoulders and the neck out of that effort. So a little squeeze of your thigh to the right side of your belly. We're going to hold that squeeze for a breath and think of really bringing that warmth of your breath into the belly, the back, the sides, the hips, the pelvis. And then through the length of your next inhale, we're going to rock the knee forward, small range of motion. It doesn't leave your hands. And then exhale, hug the knee back to you. So just that much. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Just do that once more, feeling your breath moving your body. And pause with knee to chest. And if they're not already, we'll slide the hands behind the thigh, taking that same movement as the thigh presses away from you and then the heel reaches up. Point your toes, flex your foot, bend the knee back into your chest. So it's the knee moves forward first and then the leg stretches up. Go for that nice juicy toe stretch, then flex and bend. Again, let's inhale, press out and up. Point, exhale, flex and bend. One more inhale. And exhale. Okay, then we're just going to come back up, pressing through the heel and hold there. Let's bring the arms up so the shoulders are heavy, the hips are heavy, the left foot is heavy, and just feel that full body breath here. The leg, the arms, the fingers, reaching enthusiastically upwards while you have this real sense of grounding and stability through the whole back of your body. And then from here, slowly start to lower your leg down, reaching out through your heel, your arms back overhead, and just really milk this, enjoy it. So you're growing longer and stretchier and longer and stretchier the whole way to the floor. How much more space can you allow in your body? And then finally, relax and let it go. And then keeping your body in that shape, so the right leg's still out on the floor, the arms are overhead, we're just going to slide the right leg over to meet that left foot. So we've just kind of brought the leg across that midline a little bit. You can feel that lengthening, that opening through the right side of your hip. Let's clasp hold of the right wrist and wiggle the shoulders over to just a nice easy side lean. And think about that movement of your breath again, kind of moving the ribs, the right ribs. That whole right side of your body breathing. Imagine you've got nostrils on your foot, sole of your foot, your hip, your side body. Your hand, your right nostril, that whole right side. Feeling that warmth, spaciousness for one more breath. And slowly release that all. So we're going to bring the arms down, the leg back as we come back to center. And we're almost done with this side. Now we're going to sweep that right knee back into the chest. Give it a little hug. Keeping your left hand on the outside of the knee, the right arm can stretch out to the side. We'll twist. Both knees fall over to the left. The head rolls to the right. Just being here where that's comfy for you. So if you need to prop your legs up a little, you know you can always place a cushion or your bolster underneath that bottom leg so you don't go over quite as far if that feels better to you. Another option that might feel nice here would be to take that top leg, that right leg, flex your foot, and it's like you're going to push something out away from you to create more length down that IT band, the side of the leg and hip. In fact, you can bend and press. And bend, maybe bending that right elbow. And as you reach out through that right leg, reach out through the right arm. Do that one more time. Maybe inhale as you bend. Exhale as you reach. Lengthen out through your hip, hip away from your shoulder. And then soften everything. Bring the knees and feet back on top of each other. Take your time coming up, feet to the floor. And just pause there for a moment before we move on. Your whole body breath and feel the weight of your body getting heavier onto the floor. We're going to go through that whole series now on the left side. A testament to my morning brain capacity here. All right, so left knee to chest. We start with this movement. It's called Apanasana. Apanasana just means knee to chest. So we put it into motion as we press the knee forward and then pull it back. Inhaling as you rock forward. Exhaling as you rock back. And we'll just do that a couple more times. So an interesting maybe piece of information for you. Apana, A-P-A-N-A, is the yoga or Sanskrit word for the downward movement of the breath. Apana vayu, vayu meaning breath or wind. And so apanasana, so asana is our movement, so downward movement. So we're starting to massage and bring awareness and breath into the lower body, and particularly the abdominal area, the hips. And so it's that downward movement of the breath that's so nourishing to the abdominal organs, the digestive organs. It's that essential component in calming the nervous system. So just a little fun bit more to think about with this movement, if you like. Okay, so we're going to build onto that. So now we're holding behind the thigh. And we inhale, press the thigh away from us and the heel up to point the toes. And then flex and bend. So the expansion happens on the inhale, the reach out and up. And the little squeeze, the coming back home, happens on the exhale. Inhale, pressing out and up. Point. Exhale, flexing and bending. Once more on your own timing. We're going to press up and hold. And bring the arms up, so it's sort of like a half of dead bug pose or half of happy yogi pose, just being here for a moment. And you might be getting some tummy gurgles. If you are, that's a good sign. That means that we have lots of that downward movement of our breath massaging the abdominal organs. So when we get all of those movements that are meant to be there, that means that we're not stressed out. Our body's registering ease and calm. Or you might just be a little hungry. All right, slowly, 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 just really milk that, lowering the leg, reaching the arms overhead. How slow can you go? How long and stretchy can you get? And then eventually we just relax and let all of that effort go. And then from here, we just take that left leg, slide it over to meet the right foot, clasp hold of the left wrist, arch the upper body to the right. Make sure your back's not zinging on you. If it's feeling cranky, just to ease out of that a little bit. And just welcome all of this breath length space into your whole left side, perhaps imagining not only the nostrils, left nostrils on your nose, but perhaps nostrils on the palm of your hand, your chest, your ribs, your hip, sole of your foot. And then releasing all the way back. Let everything realign to center, and then we'll float that right knee into the chest, little squeeze. Right hand on the outside of the knee, left arm to your side. Let's twist to the right and just take a moment to bolster yourself up any way that you might need to there for your comfort. Just sort of melting here. And then if you like, you can add that little leg extension. So we'll flex that left foot. And it's as if you're pushing something away from you. So you're just going to reach out through the heel. There's that length down that whole outer hip and thigh. And then we can bend the knee. So we'll just put that into motion. If you want to incorporate the arm, as you bend the knee, you can sort of bend that left elbow. And then reach out through the leg, reach out through the arms. You can really feel that whole body lengthen 2 directions, and then exhale, bend the knee, bend the arm. Inhaling, reach. You might be getting some self spine adjustments there. My whole lower spine just found a new place to be. One more, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. And then just relax for a breath. And slowly come back up. Feet to the floor. Arms by your sides. From here, feel equal weight in both feet. And we're going to press up into our bridge. So feel your knees reaching forward to lengthen out of the front of the hips. Feel when you press up that there's this little hug up from the back of the body. Neck is easy. And then lower. And when your hips reach the ground, just feel them sort of like melting into this puddle, like everything lets go. And then again, we're going to press back up. Pause at the top. And lower. And release. Again, let's exhale, press up. Inhale, lower. And release. Last one, we press. And lower. And release. Just let your knees rock and sway a little side to side there. Now, if you have a bolster, if you were sitting on a bolster or a cushion, let's slide that underneath the feet. It might be easier to come up for a moment. So we're just going to get that ready to be underneath your knees. But for right now, we'll place the feet on top of it. Yeah. So a little elevated constructive rest here. Now, let's bring that right knee back to the chest, holding behind the thigh, and then just press back up, and you can keep your foot flexed or toes pointed, yogi's choice. And all we're going to do is turn that leg out, so external rotation, and then rotate back in. So your heel, alignment-wise, is going to stay over your hips. So you're not taking your leg out, although that does feel good. We'll do that another day. But you're just rotating, spiraling the leg open and then back to parallel. So play with that for a moment. As you turn out, can you feel that right side of your body lengthening? So it feels perhaps like your hip, that right hip is pressing more down towards your bolster, and then back to neutral. So just do that one more time. And I just have my hands on my upper thigh to remind me that's where the movement is coming from. So we're not torquing the knee. Okay, then we're going to turn out, flex the foot, knee pop, and press your ankle on top of that left knee. And we're just going to be here. So we can kind of rock and sway the legs a little side to side if you like. Finding that feel good spot. You can stay there and breathe into that area. If you know you've got a little bit more room to play with, you could always float that left foot up and hold around the back of that thigh. And if that movement creates all kinds of icky tension in the upper body, just keep your foot on top of your bolster. So for wherever you are, let's just send the breath down into the hips. Soften your jaw, tongue, neck, shoulders. And then slowly lower the feet back on top of your cushion. Left knee to chest. Pressing up, again, heel reaching to the sky or toes, it does not matter. Let's externally rotate that left leg, so a little ballerina turnout, and then back into parallel. So just kind of flow in and out of that a few times. Notice how this side feels. It's probably going to be a little different than the other. Maybe place that left hand on your hip. You can kind of feel also what's happening here as you turn out and in, that lengthening through the waist. You can feel the external muscles, the external rotator muscles moving here. Okay. So then we're going to turn out and we're going to hold and flex that foot and cross that ankle over top of the other knee. And just be there and breathe, maybe rock gently side to side. And choosing to stay here and just hang out and enjoy being there maybe, or float that right knee towards you, holding behind that thigh. Where can you find some spaces to soften into? Where are you gripping that you could ungrip? And let's release the feet back down. And then from here, just stretch your legs all the way out over your cushion. Shake them out, rock them out, loosey-goosey, and then just let them flop. Fully relaxing all the way up into the hip joints. Let the low back soften. Your arms can rest out to your sides or on your body. You can close our eyes. Just take a few moments to let all of this goodness that we have literally created space for just sink and soak in, whether that's just a little bit more room to breathe, a little bit more ease in your body, Maybe a little bit more space between your thoughts. Just let your whole self rest here. And feeling that warm sunlight of your breath flowing through you with very little effort now. Just allowing your breath to flow through you like that liquid gold of the sunlight. Warming, calming, nourishing. As you soften all of the muscles of your face. Softening the space behind the forehead, behind the eyes, between the ears, back of the throat. Softening and feeling that warmth and relaxation flowing down through the upper body. Softening the collarbones, softening the lungs down onto the ground. The weight of your arms growing heavier, easier down into the ground. Notice that freedom of your breath moving through your torso. You soften the ribs, soften your belly. And feel your soft and wide and open back, relaxing down into the warmth of the ground beneath you. Softening down through your hips, your pelvis. Feel that warmth and relaxation flowing down through the legs, down through the feet, the toes. And just feel your whole body enjoying a few moments of restfulness here. Now again, just feel that warmth of your breath flowing back out through your whole body, into your hands and feet as you start to find a little movement there. Take your time as you walk your feet back up onto your cushion, or maybe even just hugging the knees to your chest, rocking your knees, circling, massaging your back. And then rolling all the way over onto your side, pausing there for a moment. Just let that top hand come to the floor in front of you. And then we'll press ourselves back up. Just returning to a comfy seat for a moment here. Feeling your hips on the ground again. A little lift, a little lightness in your heart. Feel everything reorganizing back to your seated center. Notice that ease of that whole body breath now. And then we'll bring the palms together in front of the heart space. And remember, you can come back to that visual of your breath anytime that you need sort of that warm liquid gold sunlight. That's just creating a little bit more space anytime that you're starting to feel things getting crunched and stuck and tightening back up again. So let's just take one more big, beautiful breath right here. And just bowing into your sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here today. Enjoy this gorgeous day. Namaste.